Are you saying you faked with me?
Yeah.
Wrong. Now you're single.
What do you know about sexual relations?
Is it true that if you don't use it, you lose it?
I'm a little worried about being a slut.
You're listening to the Come With Us podcast, talking the good, the kinky, and the ugly. Here are your hosts, Beth, Aaron, and Tina.
Hello, all you sexy poles and poles. Welcome to Come With Us podcast. We know that sexy stuff matters, and we are here to help you get all the sexy pleasure that you want, you deserve, that you can get. So it's a new year. Happy 2023. And we hope it's going to be a really sexy one for us, for you, for everyone. So today we're going to talk about, I think, one of the biggest obstacles, at least according to most men that I talk to, the biggest obstacle to them having as much sexy fun as they want is why we're going to do 10 reasons why women primarily wives, don't want sex and what you can do about it. Right? You think that's probably one of the biggest obstacles, Aaron?
Yeah. Most of our listeners are probably the married ones, get to that point where they just start banging their head against the wall or start sitting there sulking in the shower and like you look down at your feet and you're like, God damn it. Like, what the hell is the matter? Like, and as a guy, maybe I'm a weird guy, but whatever, like it goes to your head for a while and you're like, what the hell's the matter with me? Like, what happened to me? And then eventually like, there's ways around it and there's ways to right that ship.
Yes. Well, hopefully. So we're going to try and give you some ideas.
So there are ways. Do they all work? Not for everybody. It just depends. But
true.
There are definitely ways to right the ship.
There are different options. That's right. So I'm Beth Darling from BethDarling.com. I am so excited to be here with Aaron today. And by the way, if you haven't signed up for my newsletter at BethDarling.com, please go there, sign up so you can be on my little email list. And I try and send a little love note, a little something sexy every week. And again, that's just a good way, along with this podcast, just to kind of keep things going and keep sexy stuff front of mind for you, for them, because everything we do is suitable for sharing with your partner. Okay. So, all right. So here we've got 10 reasons why women don't think, and I say they don't think they want sex, because I think sometimes a lot of us, and I'm speaking for me too, sometimes we're saying stuff because we're trying to figure out why we don't really want to have sexy. So we're saying it because we kind of think it, but it may or may not be true because, right, our subconscious, that rules a lot. So, all right. So the first one, that time limits, right? If it's rushed or there's just, you're running out the door or it's late at night or something, or there's any other reason she's trying to go to work or she had plans to do something else, I think feeling rushed is a big one. And that it feels like for us, it can feel like an interruption.
Okay. I mean, I can understand that. There are other things in life that feel like an interruption. Like when I have my mind set on doing something sexy, never one of them. I will put the world on hold. I will.
Do that.
That's the thing is every guy. If you asked every guy, hey, would you show up late to work by an hour if it meant that you got to have sex with your wife before you got in the shower in the morning? They would go, yeah. Now, if you said, hey, this one chance, but also you have a meeting that is going to impact whether or not you get that promotion you're going for, male or female. You've got to be a responsible adult and go, yeah, no, not today. I'll play my cards right next time. But yeah, if it's just a regular day at the office where you got nothing but time to kill sometimes, I don't know any guy who wouldn't go, oh no, I really got to get to the office. Oh, no, I want to beat traffic. My ass. If I have sex before, I could sit in 2 hours of traffic. I already sit in an hour and a half of traffic. You throw another 30 minutes on there, I don't care.
Right. That's the thing, right? Men do. They get a lot of men, right? Again, we can't speak for all of them. There are some men, there are reasons men don't want to have sexy too. But certainly it does. Good sexy puts a smile on everybody's face. It really does. So, all right. So let's think about it. So if this is a complaint that you hear frequently, then I would say that you're missing out, because there are people whose lives are so busy or so scheduled, and they can be passing in the night and stuff. So that could happen. But then you need to be ready for it. And what that means is that don't waste the time, the limited time where you actually have physically together, by using that for starting to get her turned on. If you're going to only have limited amount of time, then you better start that arousal cycle way earlier. And that's what people miss. So again, if you are somebody who gets aroused very quickly, like you're a light switch, flip a switch. Hey, as Aaron says, I'm thinking about this, sexy. I forgot all about it, right? There you go. Okay, great. Not everybody, and especially women, we are not really like that. We're not programmed that way. We haven't learned that. We've been told to repress our sexuality our whole lives. So it takes us longer. You got to boil the water slowly. So be aware and start it earlier. So send sexy texts, and don't make it about you. Make it about her. What are you going to do? Why is she going to want it? Because that's the deal. You got to make it so that she wants it. And I think we forget that again, because we all do. We just think, oh, well, like I love cookies. I can't imagine somebody not being into cookies. People are not always into cookies.
Imagine it this way. You're a carnival barker at a fair, and you're trying to get people to get on the roller coaster, and you see somebody who goes, oh God, no, I hate roller coasters. Well, you better find a way to sell them a ticket to get on that goddamn roller coaster. Mm-hmm. Same thing for her.
Yeah.
She thinks about it and goes, I don't have time. I don't want to ride the roller coaster. Well, you better find a way you put your best sales pitch out there and find a way to make it worth her while, that when you get off the roller coaster, I promise you, everything's going to be the sun is going to shine brighter than it did before you got on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not in those words.
Right.
Clearly.
And I think probably the process has to be, but because otherwise we're like, whatever, we don't believe it. But the process, the ride has to be worthwhile. So yeah, do that. And all right, the next one, she gets distracted, or she is distracted, right? There's all this other stuff in life going on, and she is focused on that, and it's just weighing on her mind. She says, I can't concentrate. I can't think about that, right? I'm pretty sure. Have you heard that one too? Is that kind of a regular?
I mean, I've heard it. Yeah, I've heard it in the past.
Okay.
It's I've got too much stuff to deal with. Oh, I'm preparing for a big presentation, blah 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 blah. Which, not saying my wife doesn't get stressed out about work. Not saying that stressful feeling isn't validate or isn't, she has the right to feel stressed about stuff like that. But also, there are times where I would make the argument of, hey, by the way, sexy fun is a huge way to de-stress. And for the longest time, not even the longest time, I guess for a short period of time, for, a couple months, it was, yeah, but no, it's not going to help me. It's not going to help me. And then eventually she got to a stressful point where it was really stressful. And then all of a sudden I, did what I had her warmed up to the idea of everything like that. And then we finished and stuff like that. And then laying there in bed, I said, how stressed are you about that now? Oh, I forgot I even have to do that. Yeah. Yay! I'm telling you, it's sex is a de-stressing thing to do.
It is. And orgasm, sexy. So touch, anything sexual and orgasm, they start releasing all these happy hormones, and those are good things. And they decrease our level of cortisol, which is our stress hormone.
Yep.
So it's a win.
And,
all right.
And not only that, I mean, couples have done this. You've been in a couple that's done this before. You're fighting. You have no idea why you're fighting. You're both angry, and everything the other person says or does just gets onto your skin. And then you look at each other and you go, when was the last time we had sex? Oh, it's been about a week and a half, 2 weeks. Okay, well, we need to fix this now. And then all of a sudden, you get back into a regular pattern of having sex again, and you look at each other, and then you think back, and you're like, what did we fight about? Like, why? What do we have to fight about? We're fighting about dishes? It takes 5 minutes to do the dishes. Who cares? But yeah.
But it's the lack of connection. You're not feeling connected with each other. And fighting is a way of connecting in a negative way. I say actually fighting. So we'll talk about, so my new book is The 5 Kinds of Intimacy. And I think that using the 5 kinds of intimacy is actually the way to deal with pretty much all of the issues when you think about it that way. And fighting, oh yeah, thank you.
Look at that.
Yeah, you're so
I did
good.
something right.
Thanks, Aaron. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's my new cover. So yeah. So fighting is the 5 kinds of intimacy: physical, emotional, sexual, romantic, and spiritual. And fighting is a way that we use emotional intimacy to hurt each other. So it's still connecting. But that's right. That's the thing. People think intimacy is always a good thing. It's not. Intimacy can be a very negative thing. And it can be wielded against us, which is why we're often risk averse to it. But yeah, so that fighting is, we need to connect. So, and we'll go through like all of these, and then we'll talk about, because I think I don't want to keep repeating, but the 5 kinds of intimacy, again, those will address so many of these different things when you think of them in those scopes. So if any of these resonate for you, stay tuned, because we'll give all sorts of ideas. So, I think the benefits are huge. And the next one I think is when she just isn't in good shape, even if she's physically run down or emotionally run down, and basically she's just empty. She doesn't have much to give. She is just feeling like she is maxed out, and that's it. And she can't give you because she's not fully charged. Think of it like, a battery pack, my little extra battery and stuff. When it's dead, it cannot charge anything. But when it's full, damn, it charges a bunch of things all in a row. It's great.
I mean, I'll use a metaphor that most of our male listeners will understand more. When your car battery dies, you jumpstart your car battery. While you're running it, it recharges off of the alternator if the battery is not completely dead. Yes, I know somebody's going to email in their car guy like I am. Well, if the battery's completely dead, it doesn't hold a charge. No, if your battery is low on juice and you jumpstart it while you're driving around, it's recharging the battery because that is getting fed back in. Now, I guess we shouldn't go ways to fix that yet. I'll wait.
Okay. All right.
I have a way. Just remind me, because I'm going to try not to. Let me write this down so I don't forget.
Will you feel better if you just put it out there, Aaron?
Yes.
Okay, just put it out there.
All right. Well, we're skipping forward. This is the way you fix it as a man. You give her the guilt-free orgasm. 1 or 2 of them in a row, 2 nights in a row. Hey, you're emotionally drained. I don't have the capacity to deal with that and make you feel good. It's not about me. You don't worry about me. I'll be fine. I just want to make sure you feel good. You let go of some of that stress and energy. And guess what? As tired as you are, an orgasm right before sleep helps you sleep better. So let's see if we can get you one. I'll deal with myself later. Don't worry about it. And you do it 1 or 2 times, and then all of a sudden that battery recharge. It's the jump start of the car battery, and it starts running again.
I think that's a great idea. But I will tell you, sometimes people will hesitate to receive that. So, and we'll talk more about how, because that's a big deal, right? But we all have trouble receiving and giving in different ways and stuff. So, okay, this one I think is so common, and this is that she judges herself, right? She's feeling bad about herself. She's either feeling that she's fat, she's ugly, she's on her period, she hasn't shaved her legs, she hasn't shaved her pussy, she just is not doing well at work for whatever reason. She's fucking things up on a regular basis. God knows I know about that, dropping balls all over the place, right? And she just isn't liking herself very much. And so then if she doesn't like herself very much, she's probably not thinking you're going to like her very much. And then she's just going to keep her distance. I think that happens a lot, where we're covering up, we're hiding our bodies. We don't really want you to see too much. And we'd just rather ignore it. We'd rather forget that we have a body.
Ladies, this is that you go look on any social media site in the world. Every guy is sharing the same fucking meme, and it circulates about every, 28 days or so that it becomes popular on social media. It's, ladies, if you think he doesn't want to have sex with you because you're covered up, especially in the winter months, because we are now in the winter months, and you go, oh, well, he doesn't know that I've got like an extra 20 pounds under this coat that I don't normally have. Guess what? He's already pot committed. He doesn't care. Take off your clothes. You're sexy. Get naked. Have fun. Yeah, trust me. Guys can tell. Stop thinking this like invisible thing that, if I wear a big puffy coat, then they can't tell. But no, we can tell, and we like you because of it.
No, it's not about you. It's not about you, and you're being rational. This is not a rational thought. This is
Okay,
that
women,
we
be
don't
rational.
Like. Right. Oh yeah, that works. That's like telling somebody calm down. It works really well all the time.
No, only women. Women will eventually calm down. They will never be rational.
Yeah. Well. Okay. Yes, I would argue that men will never be rational. Humans aren't. We are emotional beings. Quite frankly, we are emotional beings. So anyway, so that's just the thing. And if we don't like ourselves, it is just really fucking hard. And I'll tell you, that's actually the biggest one to overcome even with all the intimacy. So,
well, go see a doctor or talk to your girlfriends. Find a way to like yourself. Don't talk to your single girlfriends because they're going to find a way to dig at you. And even though they love you, they're going to find a way to make themselves feel better because they don't have a man and you do.
Oh,
just know it.
That is not true. There are a lot of amazing women and a lot of really amazing friends.
I'm not saying that they're not amazing women. It's just
that are nice to each other. But we're not going to go off on that tangent. I'm not going to defend women, but just that's okay. All right,
indefensible.
No, that's not true. Just not.
That means I won the argument, right?
Yeah, right. Okay, she's just in a mood. Sorry. Sometimes we all have moods. You can argue. You can want us to be rational. You can think you're rational. The fact is, sometimes we all just have moods and we're in a funk, and that's just going to be the way it is. So I'm sorry. Women, we have hormones that make us go, oh, sit down. And I spent years trying to pretend that wasn't true. It's just crazy. We do. Our hormones do control a lot. That's just biology. It makes us amazing and wonderful. So just recognize them, appreciate it, and bear with it. That the next one I think is really big, where she doesn't feel close to you, right? And that's what, Aaron, we were talking about before, right? When you're having a fight or something and you don't even know what you're fighting over, but you just aren't feeling close to each other. And again, we'll talk about, but in my book, I say heterosexual relationships are almost set up to fail because men are taught to avoid emotional intimacy until and unless they're in the middle of sexual intimacy. Women were taught the opposite. We're taught to avoid sexual intimacy until and unless we get our emotional intimacy needs met. And then the worst is we're taught to give sex as a reward. Oh, you did this. It's so nice. It's so wonderful. I'm going to give you sex. I'm going to allow you to have sex with me. That's what we're taught. That's what we hear over and over and over again. Guys will say, I got some last night. Women, we don't have that same mentality or something. I let him do this or whatever. And so that emotional intimacy is really important for a lot of women. And it's sort of a prereq for wanting sex. But then the next one is also that we withhold sex as punishment. If we're mad at you, if you've been an asshole, if we think you've been an asshole, if you're just working so hard and you haven't paid attention to us, if we're in a pissy mood and other people are shitting on us and we're mad at you because we're going to pretend like you shit on us. All of those things, right?
Yeah, there's that rational thing again.
Yeah. We'll talk. Sometime we should do a show on why men are not actually rational and think they are.
Good luck. It'll be about 40 seconds.
It will not. There's so much to say. Okay.
It will be the shortest episode we have ever recorded.
Bullshit.
Because I'll be able to debunk every single one of those lawyers.
No way.
I didn't even need to go to law school to lawyer up with that.
See? That's right.
But
that's it. That's perfectly rational of you to think that, Aaron.
I'm just good at arguing. I didn't say I could cite it. I didn't say I could write an amicus brief. I didn't say I could cite which tort it is, but I can argue with the best of them.
Yes, you can. That is definitely true. So,
I mean, anyway, the
punishment. We do. Even if we don't say that we're being punishment, we subconsciously, we are.
They are, and I know, and women do it, and you've said this before. Okay, fine. You're going to be like that? Cool. I'm not going to hug you for a month because you pissed me off. Like it, and yes, the relationship of sexy is, hey, 35, 40 minutes out of your day versus a whole month. Oh my God. Okay. Well, how long does a hug take? 30 seconds. Cool. I'm going to build up that 35 minutes of hugs. I'm not going to hug you for 35 minutes. The next time you want one, the next time you're sad, the next time you just want to feel that connection. Cool. You decided to withhold because you were mad at me. I can hold on being mad at you too. It's not fair, and it's being petty and childish, and nobody wins, both men and women. When you're petty and childish about anything, you're not winning. Nobody's winning.
But I would say that it's also human to do these things. And again, it's subconscious, so we don't realize it. So we have to make sure that people have a chance to recognize things.
Well, yeah, that's the whole point.
But
You have to learn to recognize when you're,
Yeah, but so as a partner, you have to learn ways that you can help your partner recognize these things without pissing them off more. Because it's good for the relationship, right? We don't need somebody to be right and somebody to be wrong. We just need you guys to be happy together.
Yeah.
So
I'll consent to that part. But if you decide that you're gonna withhold sex because you're mad at me for the day,
deliberate cruelty, deliberate cruelty on anybody's part is not good. Okay,
that's the same. That's literally the same as his. Okay, women, ladies, whatever. This is the same as you're going to be deliberately cruel to him. The next time you two are out on a date, he looks at the bombshell blonde that walks by and goes, "God damn, I wish you looked like her." It hurts you the same as what you withholding sex because you're mad at him does to guys.
Yes,
that's just what
because it's a personal rejection.
Yes,
that's what it is. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's got it. That's a good way of doing that. All right. The next one, age, hormones, medications, all of those things affect libido.
Yep.
So they do. It's just a question of how much they affect our libido. And to be fair, there are some things that completely wipe out a libido, just absolute physically. They actually minimize any chance we have of success of being physically aroused, right? Just like a man can have ED issues and stuff. A woman can want to be loving and whatever, and her body just may not respond. So that's just there. Just realize it. But there are still things that you can do about it. There are ways that you can help still create lots of intimacy, even if those are problems.
I mean, we've pointed this out before. Antihistamines.
Yeah.
Women who are like coming off a cold or during allergy season, they complain of, oh, well, I usually can get wet or stuff like that. And they can't. Well, antihistamines are designed to dry out your body.
Yeah.
And I have huge, horrible allergy problems twice a year, in October to November and in April to May. And when I take them, I cannot put on enough chapstick and my lips are drier than a corpse.
Yeah.
And it sucks. But I know it's the antihistamines that are drying out my body because that's what they're supposed to do.
Right.
So that's one thing. Also, one thing I learned over the years is that certain birth control pills, depending on it, does not agree. It depends
hormones.
on what pill it is. It depends on how your body reacts because every human's going to react differently. But if your wife, girlfriend, fiance, hookup, whatever is on the birth control pill, there could be a chance that it's taking their libido and it's just fucking torpedoing it.
Yes.
And at that point,
antidepressants.
Yes.
Yep.
Which antidepressants is a known thing because it's part of the may cause bleeding and side effects and blah, 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 and like all those fucking things. And you hear that and you're like, but for the birth control thing, because my wife, one doctor she had never told her about it. And then another doctor, when she got prescribed a different one, was like, hey, by the way, a side effect is it can reduce your libido. And then lo and behold, it did for a couple months. And then she talked to her daughter. I was like, I need to be on a different birth control bill because this is not I'm taking it for nothing.
Right.
Because I don't
need birth control. Right. Yeah.
So
that's a good point. Yeah.
If ladies or guys,
double check.
If your significant other is on the pill and their libido is suffering, and that it's a good thing to have them broach it with their doctor of, hey, maybe this pill isn't the best for my body chemistry, because there are plenty of them out there. Every freaking pharmaceutical company in the world, including Jim Bob's ready-made pharmaceuticals made in a trailer in the middle of the Appalachians, they have a fucking birth control pill. So there's options.
Yeah.
Don't think that Nurex or whatever is the only one. There's a million.
No. There are different ones, right, and different things. So, but be aware. So that's a good thing. All right. The next one is a big deal when you're not involved in her life and you basically, she feels like you only come around for sex. All right. And that may not be your fault. It might just be she's got a job, you've got a job, you've got kids, you've got this, you've got hours, whatever, right? So I'm not saying this is fault. Just recognize that if that's the case, if you really are only together for a very limited period of time, and in that period of time, you're really wanting sexy, there's a very good chance she's really wanting something else during that time. And just, I'm not saying either of you is right or wrong. There is no right or wrong. It's just, we got to find a way for both of you to get your needs met in a very limited period of time. And again, I think there are ways you could do that. Just own up to it and don't get into this. Oh, but I'm right. I'm not doing anything wrong. Blah, blah, blah. You're wrong. Don't waste time with right and wrong, because you're just not going to get anywhere with it.
And the whole, and I get it. If your schedules are different, hey, you're working overnight, she's working mornings,
right,
whatever. You don't have time together. You're trying to raise 4 kids and all that stuff, whatever. I get that. But that aside, if that's not an issue, and it's not that our schedules are clashing and we're never around each other, but you're sitting on the couch and not really talking, not engaging, not having the other forms of intimacy, and then you just look over and go, hey, you want sex?
Yeah.
Well, if it's a hookup, if it's just somebody who's a friend with benefits, that's one thing. That's what those are there for. If this is somebody you're in a lasting relationship, committed relationship to, what was the point of getting in that relationship if you're not willing to, I don't know, talk about your day, share your emotions, share your desires, share your dreams and your goals and what do you want to do with your life? There's no point in being in a relationship with somebody if literally the only reason that's tying you to that relationship is the sex. Because at that point in time, you just want a friend with benefits. And you might be able to go find one.
Or just pay for sex, right?
Or that.
Yeah, fine. Well, I guess I know it's illegal here, but find some place it is. But
it's
still, there are ways to do it.
Yeah.
But find a relationship where that is the only, that's the agreement, is that this is only for sexy. And then you're fine.
Yeah.
But otherwise, assume that your partner wants more than just that. Frankly, I think you want more than just that.
Yeah, you should want more than that. That's the whole point of pair bonding and committing yourself to another human being.
Right.
Is you want more than just the.
That's right.
Last week we talked about breeding. You want more than just the chimps at the zoo who literally fuck and then they're on, oh, hey, I got a banana. Oh, hey, I got a peanut. You want more than that.
Yeah. Well, that's like, I asked the people at swingers events, I was like, okay, why are y'all here? And somebody always raises, oh, for sex. I was like, yeah, no, that's not it.
No.
There are too many other ways that you could get sex. That's just way easier than spending an entire weekend where maybe you're going to have sex, for half an hour, one part of the day. And even then it's just maybe if you find the right people. So it's not, we all want more. And it's just a question of what we settle for.
Yeah.
And we do better if we're just honest about what we want, and then we're more likely to get it. So, all right. And the last number 10, basically, I think covers all of these. This is why I said, I think the other ones, a lot of them are why she thinks she doesn't want sex. But to me, number 10, she's not that excited by sexy stuff with you. Maybe she's not excited about sexy stuff generally, but specifically, she is not that excited about sexy stuff with you. Because really, when people are excited about something, when we want something, most people make time for what they really want. So I'm not trying to be rude or crude or insult you. It's not your fault. You might not know. So I'm going to give you some ways and thoughts on how to get there, because it could be that maybe she's not that excited about sexy with you because maybe she's having pain during sexy stuff. Maybe she's dry. I don't know if you know or not, but that's a very good question. If you don't ask your partner what they're feeling and stuff, that is a problem. 25% of women have painful sex, and a lot of their partners don't know it. Or there's just a total lack of excitement. It's maybe it's boring married sex, or who knows, but a lack of romance. So I think that's kind of the big catch-all. Again, because when people are dating, people generally want to have sexy stuff.
I mean, so as a man, you just said maybe she doesn't want to have sex with you, which immediately goes to the giant kick in the nads of the ego of, well, what the fuck? And then if you're in a committed relationship, and if my wife were to approach me and say, you know what, I just don't want to have sexy fun with you, I'd be all right, cool. I know a really good divorce lawyer. We'll split shit in half, and I'll go find somebody who does.
Right. And that's why a lot of people don't say it, but their actions are saying.
But that's the thing, is that, okay,
So-
I've said
so
this before.
But we don't have enough time, Aaron. So let's just get to. So I agree, it's a problem, right? I get it. It's a big problem, and that's why I'm not saying force your partner to say it. I'm just saying, in your mind, realize that that might be an issue. All right, and so it could be the same way that you might say, "I don't really want to talk with you because, like, when we talk." And I hear this from them. All you talk about, or all we talk about when we're together, is the kids or the house or shit we have to do. Like, it's not fun to talk to you. And that is true, right? It's not that we don't like our partner. It's just that we get into certain patterns. And especially because time is limited and our energy is limited. And there's so much shit that people are dealing with these days that we end up sort of trying to close out the fun and exciting and happy stuff. And we just focus on the to-do lists and the not fun, because that's what's stressing us out. But again, when we got together with our partners, when you started dating and stuff, it was like your relationship was what took you out of the reality. That was the good part of life. You went to work to make some money, and then you were going to go have fun.
Yeah.
Right? You couldn't wait till Friday to be together. And then it was like, yes, we're going to have fun. But you would never have gone out if you knew on Friday, oh God, all we're going to do is chores. All she's going to do is complain about her work. All I'm going to do is complain about my work. All I'm going to do is say how tired I am. And I never want to leave the house. Maybe once in a while you did that, but not on a regular basis. So you have to shift things up. So very briefly, this is why I think the 5 kinds of intimacy. So physical intimacy is just literally touching and making note. Because if you're living together, you probably have time for physical intimacy. You have some physical intimacies probably, and you're not even paying attention to them or making a big deal out of them. And so don't waste a chance. Don't just settle for just sort of obligatory pecks as you go by. Stop and concentrate and go, oh my God, right? I really like kissing you. I want to kiss you. Wait, can you just wait 30 seconds? I just want to look at you. Do you know you are so beautiful? Do you know how attractive I find you? You're as beautiful now as I thought the first time I saw you, or I want you as much now, right? Give words. Don't just let things go with minimal involvement. Be specific. Make things stick. I say, if you know anything about the 5 love languages, they're like, oh, do this, words of affirmation or acts of service. But without intimacy, those things don't do anything. I say my dry cleaner gives me acts of service and words of affirmation on a regular basis. There's no intimacy. I walk in, they say, oh, it's so nice to see you. You have such a nice, I love seeing you're always so interesting, or you have a great smile. Here are your clothes, blah, blah, blah. And I walk out of there. I'm like 5 minutes later, I have no idea what they said. Okay, make it. Focus on the hidden intimacies that you already have and make the most of them. But I promise, if she looks forward to you kissing her every day, if she looks forward to hearing nice words from you that are real, not just platitudes, if those moments like feel good, if they really get to her, then do. If so for example, we talked about if she doesn't like herself. Okay, you can't make somebody like themselves. But you can help point out the good things about them. And those will stick if you do them right. So if you just say, oh, you're so pretty, that just blows off. But if you say, one of the things that I think is so attractive about you and what makes you so special is that you always have a way of putting together an outfit, and it's always interesting. There's a little, sparkle, a little something different. And other women don't necessarily have that, but that, like people around you, I see men and women really look and notice you, or that color, it's cliche maybe to say brings out your eyes, but you can say, but you really look bright and cheery today. Or you look like a sexy librarian today. All of those things, it just has to be true for you. And then you have to make sure that it sticks. And that means you have to slow down, look them in the eye, and make sure.
I mean, yeah, don't say shit you don't mean.
Yeah, never do
No,
that.
don't
Never
say
do
something you don't mean. But
Right.
another way that like remember the fact, like, and some people somebody's gonna go, I never had that. No, stop. Just fucking play along with me for a second. You're sitting at a bar waiting on a buddy to show up. Your significant other is nowhere near around. They're not coming out. It's guys' night. It's girls' night. Whatever. You're waiting at your friend to either go to the bathroom or they're showing up late or something like that. And a member of the opposite sex walks up to you and starts hitting on you, and you can tell they are obviously hitting on you. Doesn't have to be a bar. Could be the grocery store. Could be wherever. You think about that confidence that it instills with you because you feel good the rest of the fucking day.
Yes.
Your dry cleaner story, you don't feel great the rest of the day like that because they didn't show an interest in you more than a transactional way.
No, they didn't establish intimacy, right? Yeah, it wasn't that personal. Like intimacy,
Yes.
I say, where there's a level of being seen, of vulnerability, of like being seen or seeing somebody, right?
Yeah.
That's intimacy. So yes, when somebody just notices and say, oh, like, I saw you trying not to laugh when that person down at the end of the bar dropped the beer, right? That's like an intimacy. Wait a second. They saw something that I was trying to keep to myself. I was trying to be polite, but they saw me. And suddenly intimacy can start sparking like trust and knowledge. And it feels good to be seen in a positive way.
Yep.
So help in that sense. And that's where, so physically the touching, making her, because touch makes us connected. It helps. Again, it leads to the bonding hormone and everything like that from both parties. So don't waste a time touching and make it deliberate, not just accidental. Also practice non-sexual touch because women, again, we're taught from an early age, oh, they only want to get in your pants. Oh, that's all they want from you. So we're trained to just think that we're just a hole. It's awful. Okay. It's awful, but it's just
three, but yeah.
3, exactly. So make sure she knows that that's not it. You have to make it personal to her. So the physical, the emotional, like these words and things I'm doing, those are emotional intimacies. Like I see you, who you are, all the stuff that's underneath, and I know you. And bringing little things. I say it doesn't have to be chocolates and flowers. But if you know there's a certain book somebody likes, if you know that, oh, I saw this news article for you and I knew you'd appreciate it, send that to her. Those are all things that exhibit emotional intimacy. And when we have emotional intimacy, again, we feel connected. That's going to take away that feeling of, oh, we're not, even though we're not physically together that often, you're still going to feel really close. Like call them and say, I heard this and you were the first person I really wanted to share it with. And share the good things, not just the bad things, and follow up, be interested in what they're doing because that matters a lot. Even though you're busy, write things down. I have ADHD, I forget things, but if they've got a special interview, if they've got, some big task or presentation at work, write notes to yourself and make sure that you ask them that day, hey, how did that go? I've been thinking about you, but you have to mean it. And then sexual intimacy, right? So sexy is not just fucking. Don't think that. So keep it going. Talk about not just from your standpoint, but you could share a thing like, oh my God, for some reason, I was thinking about the way you smell right after you come. And it just got me so hard. And I was so excited. Just throw these things out there, make it personal and make it so it's not just about expecting something so that she doesn't have to reject you. She doesn't have to push it back going, I don't want sex. She can just let it linger. Right. And think of memories. Oh, I was just thinking about, remember when we did blah, blah, blah. Oh my God, I love that. I had so much fun. You were so hot. It felt so good. So turn her on. And that's if you only have a limited amount of time to be with somebody, again, start the arousal process way before. In fact, I would say keep it going all the time.
We live in a digital age. Sexting it's a great way of doing that.
Right. But don't necessarily do it and expect a response back because that can set us up, right? She might be in the middle of doing a bunch of other shit and can't get to it. But the fact is, if you could try to just know she loves you and know that she wouldn't be with you if she didn't actually want you, right? Then just assume and give somebody the grace and just don't get pissy like, oh, I sent you that hot text and I didn't hear anything. Just give some space, right? The same way that you would with a friend, but keep doing it. Don't feel like you can't do it, or don't be afraid if she's shy and she doesn't know how to respond, because she might not be used to this and it'll take a while. So things will be awkward for a little bit. You could even say that, oh, it might be awkward, but I just have decided I want you so much and I'm just going to share these things with you. Okay, great. Don't set somebody up for obligation. Blame, shame, guilt, or obligation. We're trying to get rid of those things. Okay, the romantic intimacy. This is the one. This is when people have boring married sex and are stuck there. It's romantic intimacy that people need. And romance, again, does not mean chocolates or flowers or sunsets or billion-dollar yachts, although those things are all great. But there's so many different ways to have romantic intimacy. So even if you're apart, if it's a full moon, you can say, hey, call on the phone and be like, can you just step outside? I want you to look at the moon. I'm looking at the moon. What are you thinking about? Can maybe every month we just look at the full moon together? If I was there, I would be touching you. I would be leaning, put my arm around you. We'd be standing there and it would feel so good. I'd be kissing your neck. Do that, right? That's romantic. Just say, wait, kids, we need 10 minutes. Mom and dad, we're going outside and we're just going to sit on the steps together and just breathe and just relax and just do that, so that you create this air of this is different, right? Romance, it's the energy, excitement, and ambiance of unexpected surprise, mystery. So do something different. Hell, just pull her in, set up flowers or something, or rose petals in the guest bedroom. Be like, hey, honey, let's just go in here for a little bit, right? That could be just kind of silly romantic. Give her a massage there, again, so that if she doesn't actually want penetration, she'll just start building up and just realize you're just building, right? So I don't know. I'm sure there's a thing in the car business, right? You got to kind of, when there's new oil or new something, sometimes, I don't know, what do they tell you? It takes a week or so for things to start going smoothly or break through. I don't know.
Start getting your optimal like mile or what is it, fuel efficiency and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. So keep it up, and then keep up the regular oil changes. Keep up some romance. Do not let that slide. I swear that is out the window with so many couples. And that's when people are like, oh, I love them, but I'm not in love. It's because we lose that romantic, and it's ridiculous. There are easy ways to do it. Be creative, make it different, and then make her want. This is her escape. Make sexy the escape from the real world. And once you have the emotional connection and the physical stuff, it's easier to do that, I think. And the very last one is, and I'm sorry, we've gone long, but the very last one is the spiritual intimacy. And the spiritual intimacy is just the feeling that she has, that you have, that what we're doing is good. It's good for me. It's good for you. It's good for our families, our friends, the world at large. I say sort of blessed by the divine, but you don't have to be religious. It's got nothing to do with religion. I say some people cannot have sex in a room with a pile of dirty laundry or a pile of clean laundry. They're like, I cannot do it. I can't not think about the laundry there. Some people are like, oh, I can't do it if they're dirty dishes. Those things are taking away from spiritual intimacy. Don't try and fight it. Don't try and tell her, oh, it's okay. Just hear her once. And if she says, I don't enjoy sexy when they're dirty dishes, next time, just be like, I'm doing the dishes real quick. You go get ready. Go take a shower. Go light a candle. I got the dishes. Make it happen. You don't have to fight it. We're not talking right and wrong. We're talking about how to get you guys together. Same thing with kids. Put a lock on the door, or put the kids, go have sexy in a room that's not right adjacent to the kids' room or the parents' room or guest room or something like that. Hell, go have sexy in the garage. That could really be romantic and fun, and can give her the peace of mind that nobody's going to be interrupted and nobody's going to hear her. Oh, and lock the garage door. Okay. But you have to make sure that her mind can be all in. Otherwise, you're fighting over. And here's the thing. If you push her and she has sexy and she's not 100% excited about it, she's not going to want it again. She's going to resist it more. So again, try to take these defenses down by tackling all the 5 kinds of intimacy. because that's how you can overcome pretty much all of those things. Even if she's got lack of libido and everything, if she's very dry, then you can deal with lube. You can deal with the practicalities. You can have different kinds of sex. You don't have to have just vaginal penetration. Lots of different ways. You can have mutual solo, sex for one, but you can be there. You can have oral. Hell, you can just rub on her boobs and come all over her and stuff. There's so many different ways to do things. So don't get stuck on one kind and let her just keep saying no, 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 and dig yourselves further and further away. Because really, when you're not feeling connected, it's the most important time to find a way together. And physical touch and sexy fun are the easiest ways to actually pull together. So that's what I tell women too. So, and in fact, this is a great episode. If you're listening to this by yourself, maybe bring your partner and listen to it together and then talk about it. And again, just like, you can throw Aaron and I under the bus, be like, oh my God, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Find a new way. That's okay. But I'm telling you, 5 kinds of intimacy pretty much works on all, knock on wood. It works when people want it to work, when they want their relationship to work, it works. I've yet to see a couple that wanted to be together that didn't find help in thinking about these 5 things. So that's my suggestion. And start now. It's January. So the book will be out on January 31st. But again, make this a really fucking sexy year. Make this a sexy fucking year. All of those. All of those things, right? Yeah. All right.
I mean, shit. The book comes out and then you got 2 weeks until Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Yes. That's why I'm killing myself to get this out. So
get it, read it. That gives you take 2-3 days to read it. It doesn't take that long to read.
Oh yeah.
It's an easy read to go through, and then just fucking come out of the gate with your A game for Valentine's Day, and then a month later, maybe you'll get to be celebrating that steak and BJ day. Who knows?
Yes, exactly. Yes, because there are, and at the back of the book, by the way, there are very practical exercises, practices that you and your partner can do to increase your intimacy, starting from very, very tame, going to all sorts of sexy fun. So there's a list of them. Plus, if you go to bethdarling.com and sign up for my email address, then when you buy the book and stuff, let me know, and I will send you some bonus exercises also. So there's lots of things to do. Again, I want everybody to have sexy fun and to be happy. I'm such an optimist. I can't stand it. And I just want the world to be better. We need it. We need more love. So for everybody, I think. All right. Okay. Did you learn anything there, Aaron, or have I said this a zillion times to you?
I mean, I read the book, so I knew it. But yes.
Okay.
It never hurts to have a refresher.
Good.
Just like when you were in, I still do this to this day. There's books I read in college that were technical books or, marketing books and stuff like that. It never hurts to pick it up and go peruse a couple of chapters again and go, I've done that before. It works.
Yeah. And it's funny because that's why. So in the exercises, we're actually putting in like notes for the first time you do it, for the second time you do it, the third time, so that you can see the differences, because it is true that as we develop, as we get closer to people, then our levels of intimacy changes. And it's just funny, the different feelings and things that can come out. But intimacy, it's always good. It's just peeling. We're an endless onion. If you have a good, long lasting relationship, it's an endless onion. You'll get to one level and think, oh God, I've never been here before. And then the next thing you know, there's another layer that you had no idea about. But it's just true. And women who have kids will say, I didn't know I could love them this much, right? When they're born, we think, oh my God, I love them more than I could possibly.
I know men who've said that.
That's okay. Well, so I'm impressed that they say that, because a lot of men aren't that openly
one of my
expressive.
best friends, the day he held his son, he was like, dude, I've never known love like this. Like, I would have, he goes, there could have been an army at the door. Every single one of them would have been dead before they got anywhere near my son.
Oh,
and I've known several guys who
I love that.
Like that.
I love that. But then the funny thing is as they get older, there's more and more love. Like, because
that's when they become cool.
Right. And we just don't
at the
know.
beginning,
We're
they're
like, holy
boring.
shit. Yes. right? And
at the
we
beginning,
still
they're like a flower. It's like, oh, cool, that's
Yeah.
a cool little flower. What does it do? Nothing. All right, cool. You wake me up when
it poops, it throws up, it cries, it's
wake
annoying.
me up when it's got
Exactly.
some attitude, and we can go
Yes.
play. We can go, throw things at the wall, and I can teach it how to whittle, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Play jacks
exactly.
because I apparently was born in 1926. God
I
only
love
knows.
jacks. But yeah. But anyway, yeah. So
No, we're not
that's the
talking
thing.
this jack.
Oh no, I meant jacks with the ball and oh my gosh. Anyway, but yeah. So my point is, you can keep getting more and more and more intimate, and it just gets better and better and better. And that's really what should happen. You should, at the end of your life, at the end of the relationship and stuff, it should be like, this was so much better than I even imagined. And that's my goal for you. So
Yeah.
With the 5 kinds of intimacy. So there you have it. 10 reasons women don't want to have sex and what you can do about them.
Here's the goal. Not only the sexy 2023, but a year from now, when we're sitting in 2024, after reading this book, going through it with your partner, you should literally look at each other and go, damn, remember how we felt about each other a year ago? Yeah, that feels like nothing compared to what we feel now.
Yes.
That's the goal.
Yes. Yes. I will literally die happy. It makes me cry. That's what I think about. Because
all right, nobody likes a crying woman. Knock it off.
Sorry. I'll just say, as an ADHD person, writing a fucking book is like fucking torture. Torture. It's awful. I'm not this kind of a masochist. Not. And I did it because I really think it's that important. And I think it's that impactful, I hope. So anyway, all right. I won't. Enough sappy. But thank y'all for joining us for Come With Us podcast, where you get the bare naked truth about love, sex, and relationships. And of course, please don't just wait for the next episode. Don't wait that long. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. That way you'll get all sexy fun tips, tricks, and everything. And follow us now. And let us know what's going on. Stay in touch with us. What is it? Confessions?
comewithusconfessions@gmail.com. That's comewithusconfessions@gmail.com. Email us anything. Thoughts, concerns. If you have a specific topic you want us to address. We've gotten a few of those lately. If you think Aaron says things that are stupid, let me know. It makes me laugh. You're not going to get there. I'm not going to change, but it's going to make me laugh.
Yeah. And when things are good, let me know. Let us know how things affect. Let us know what you like, what your partner likes. And again, check out the 5 kinds of intimacy. You can find it on Amazon. It's available for pre-order if it's not available already. So, So go to Amazon, holler at me, go to BethDarling.com, and then we will see you next week with all sorts of new sexy fun. All right. For myself, Beth Darling, and Aaron, big hugs. Happy New Year. Lots of love. And may this be your best year. Most sexy, happy, joyful, and loving year ever. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Come With Us podcast. Be sure to follow us on social media at Come With Us Podcast and send in your questions, comments, and confessions to comewithusconfessions@gmail.com. Until next time, keep it fun, flirty, and naughty.